And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Talladega Superspeedway as we get ready here for race number 8 of Season 8 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. Today we're getting ready for the running of the Aaron's 499 at the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. 38 laps on tap for today's event, and the points rather close coming into today's race as well. You guys ready for a little bit of irony? Anybody remember the Mobile Cup Series race we had here? Who ended up starting on the pole position? Well, I'll give you the answer. It was Andy Timmons on the pole, driving the number 25 National Guard Chevy Camaro. And look who we have on the pole for the Snickers Cup Series race. Ashley LaPlante in the number 25 National Guard Camaro. What irony is that? 2 straight races with the same car, same sponsor, all that, on the track. Obviously, there is a difference in the way that the bodies of the Camaros in Mobile and Snickers are, but still, really funny. That's 25 National Guard, and it's a Chevy Camaro in both our Mobile and Snickers Cup Series events. As a matter of fact, Chevy Camaro has swept the front row for the start of this race, as James Qualls for ML Racing will line up on the outside of row number 1 in that number 70 Chevy Camaro. Now, Ashley LaPlante comes into this race 6th in the point standings. James Qualls, on the other hand, comes in dead last in the points. So if ever a driver really needs a good run today, possibly a win, it wowould probably have to be that number 70 machine. Kyle Corbett's going to line up in the 3rd position. Corbett had a rather decent day at Infineon last week, but then it suddenly went south near the end of the race. Corbett's been struggling this season. 29th in standings coming into this race, and he actually, at this point last season, did have a victory, which came at Auto Club, so he's looking for his 2nd Snickers Cup Series win of his career and 1st of Season 8, and alongside of him, a driver who just went to victory lane last week at Infineon, Joshua Michaels, is now up to 13th in the point standings, became the 2nd BMW to go to victory lane this season, and Michaels, with a chance to get into the chase for the championship, will look to continue with consistency here, maybe pick up back-to-back victories in the past 2 weeks. But it's time to get these cars rolling off, though. We're going to have them complete their pace lap. On the top of your screen, you will see your 42 cars starting lineup for today's Aaron's 499. And we'll give you a look at the overview of the point standings coming into today's event at Talladega. Sean Galligan is the points leader by 1 point over 2-time winner Trent Dunham. And one thing I should mention is I thought last week at Infineon it was going to be a points tie between those two, but the fact that Charles Samper, who was running in the top 10 at the time and was between the two of them, came to pit road on the final lap at Infineon, that one extra spot was enough for Sean Galligan to have the points lead by 1 point coming into today's event. Jace McLeod, he lines up 3rd in the point standings. 4th is William Duncan. Sean Henley is in 5th. 6th, Ashley LaPlante. Charles Samper is 7th in the points. Harrison Langford 8th, Danny Wells 9th, and Ian Dutta completes the top 10. We're certainly seeing more consistency out of Tweenix Racing drivers than we've seen in the past couple of seasons. 3 of their 4 drivers up inside the top 10 in points. However, none of them have gone to victory lane yet this season. Hendrick Daly Motorsports, none of their drivers have gone to victory lane yet this season. Big opportunity for a number of teams. Gonzalez Motorsports, Randy Gonzalez lining up in 5th. Charles Samper, his teammate, right behind him in 7th. They haven't been to victory lane yet this season. Uper Motorsports with Ian Dutta and Chris Washer, who had 4 total Season 7 Snickers Cup Series victories. They haven't been to victory lane yet this season. And Kyotech Racing, who's had some really good runs with the likes of Anthony Curry and Tanner Sullivan and Ralph Mason. They have yet to get either an Audi or a Pontiac into victory lane yet this season. So we'll see if maybe they could do it today here at Talladega Superspeedway. Ashley LaPlante and James Qualls are going to get us underway as we prepare for the green flag to come out. 38 laps of racing. Hope you guys are ready for a wild one, because I'm sure these drivers will deliver. Green flag is out. We are underway here in the Aaron's 499 at Talladega Superspeedway. already. I'm seeing teammates getting right up against each other. The 23 with a rear decklet completely full of the Coke Vanilla 03 of his teammate Charles Sanford. As those two Mitsubishis look to work their way up through the field. Now Sanford's going to go to the bottom and leave his teammate out to dry. Here comes Danny Wells, and they're going to go 4 wide already here at Dega. Nope, they moved it to 3 wide. Kyle Matthews let Joshua Michaels by, then tucked in line behind him there on the high side. So smart move there by the 24. As looks like Ashley LaPlante's going to lead a 3x3x3 parade all the way down around this racetrack. And she will come around to lead the first lap here at Talladega Superspeedway. One driver who knows something about winning at a restrictor plate track. Makoto Iguchi, who won this season's Great American Race, the Daytona 500, coming up the inside line right now with drafting help in the form of the 94 of Jessica Shelton. As things remain 3x3. Oh, wait a minute. Dougie Shears just got moved up with Charles Sanford. That's a 4-wide situation, and they're leaning on each other, and behind them they wreck. Behind them they have made contact, and they have wrecked. Oh, man, Noah Hart nearly got the apron, and now Nathan Hudson gets the apron, courtesy of, I believe that was John Cittadino. He hangs on to it, though. Nice save. As they're going to come down to the line, Jessica Shelton gets to the inside of Makoto Iguchi. It's going to be a drag race between these two to see who leads under caution. Iguchi is going to hang on the high side just barely. But that was a wreck near the middle of the field. I thought it was going to start with Dougie Shears and Charles Sanford, but instead it was triggered behind them. And I don't rightly know who was involved, and now we do know. James Qualls. A bad rookie season just continues for that number 70 machine. As he was collected in this, Brandon Gonzalez trying to rekindle a little bit of Talladega success. He won an event here at Talladega, driving the 78 Furniture Row Chevrolet at one point, and now he is out of the race. Looked like also Seth Cole was sitting on pit road. That is indeed the case. Harrison Langford has got some damage, 8th in the point standings. And I think Kyle Corbett got a piece of it. I don't know how bad the damage was on his machine, so I'm trying to look really closely here, see if anybody else may have sustained some damage. Looks like there could possibly be a little bit of damage on the car just ahead of Anthony McCurry, and that would be the defending Snickers Cup Series champion, Jacob Lawler. McCurry may have gotten a piece of it too, I don't know. Whatever the case, there are going to be pit stops taking place here on lap 3 of 38. So these drivers short pitting. I don't think they're going to be able to make it the rest of the way on one pit stop. I think they're going to have to pit at least 2 more times. But we've seen them stretch it before too. They were able to stretch it in the Last of Us Light series for the entire event. Joey Van Hoot and Skylar Johnson were. So we shall see just exactly what the strategy is going to be here. Will they go with tires or will they go fuel only this early on? They will go with 4 tires, or maybe just 2, at least on the Makoto Iguchi machine. So we move here to our TV1 camera. Nathan Hudson is gone. It must have been gas and go for him. Iguchi's now out. Shelton. Megan Atkins just beating out Ian Dutta. There goes LaPlante, Balkowitz, Hudson, Sanford, Danny Wells, and Cittadino as everybody else completes their pit service. We know for certain that this wreck took out at least 2 drivers, probably 3 if you add Seth Cole to the list of James Qualls and Harrison Langford. But the caution flag is out for a wreck that took place heading into turn number 3. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened. Well, let's see if we can find out how this started. They're leaning on each other back there. I think that's Langford, Gonzalez. They're the 2 that are going to slide up the hill, and James Qualls is going to have absolutely nowhere to go. And Corbett does get clipped. And wow, Joshua Michaels, last week's winner, was right behind that. So too was Kyle Matthews. Those 2 do a great job getting through. And then, oh, Seth Cole just had absolutely nowhere to go, and he spins in front of, I believe that's Jacob Lawler, and that may be how Lawler actually gets his damage. I think he may actually have made a little bit of contact there with the 52 of Seth Cole, who was spinning around after the hit he got into, I believe that was the rear of James Qualls' machine. So, Langford Gonna have some damage from this, but I think he'll maybe he'll be able to continue. 8th in points, Brandon Gonzalez, tough break for Gonzalez. 26th in points, was looking to use Talladega as an opportunity to go back to victory lane. And James Qualls, man, what a tough season he has been having. He almost won the Mobile Cup Series championship last season, but this season in Snickers Cup, he's just not been able to find that kind of success. So that's what brings us under the caution. Looked like we maybe had at the most a 5-car incident. So let's head back now for the restart, as I believe Nathan Hudson, after a bit of pit strategy, is going to lead us to the green. Now Ford will start in the top 2 here for this restart. Nathan Hudson, who had that great save there on the apron when everybody went down to avoid the wreck that took place in 3. He was able to hang on to it. They used some pit strategy. He'll restart as the leader. Right behind him is going to be Makoto Iguchi, who led us to our first caution. Jessica Shelton lines up in 3rd. 4th place will be Megan Atkins. So Michael Norman Motorsports starting 3rd and 4th. Opportunity for teammates to work together. And Ian Dutta is going to complete the top 5. Pole sitter Ashley LaPlante lines up 6th. 7th is Joshua Balkowitz. Zachary Fitzwater lines up 8th. 9th will be Charles Sanford, and Danny Wells completes the top 10. That's John Cittadino 11th. 12th Noah Hart. 13th place is going to be Dougie Shears. 14th James McLeod with Joshua Michaels 15th. Then it's Kyle Matthews, Dylan Young, James Silverfox, Isaac Canepa, and Cody Lamas. That will complete the top 20. Drivers out of the race after the incident we just saw the replay of include the following: James Qualls, Brandon Gonzalez, and Seth Cole. Everyone else that got pieces of it, Lawler, Corbett, and Harrison Langford, have continued. Only time will tell if they are up to speed or not. So here we go then, green flag back out here on lap 7 of 38. We got a total of 32 laps remaining here today, and I'm pretty certain they're going to have to pit at least 2 more times to make it the rest of the way. That wreck was a 5-car incident total. We have yet to basically see the big one, which Talladega is so famed for. If we can get away with the big one being a 5-car incident here at Talladega, these drivers are going to put on one good show here in some long green flag runs. Hudson was able to get away. That's normally not a good thing, and I think it may end up coming back to bite him, because Jessica Shelton's got Ian Dutta and Joshua Balkowitz lined up right behind her, and here she comes with a big run to the inside. Shelton going to go for the top position, and she will lead that lap. As here comes Balkowitz helping her on the inside line. Now Balkowitz going to have a teammate behind him in the Daytona 500 winner, Makoto Iguchi, who almost got the door slammed on him by, that would have been Ian Dutta, but Iguchi was able to get her car down underneath and keep it on the inside line. Trying to use Charles Sanford, and now he's trying to use Noah Hart to catch up here, try to help his teammate get the lead away from Jessica Shelton. Balkowitz, though, going to try and do it all by himself. Back there, they almost split it 4 wide. James McLeod almost into Charles Sanford there. And now Sanford moves up to the high line. Now they're 4 wide. Dougie Shears getting caught in the middle. And now they're going to settle it back out to 3 wide. I think there may be 4 wide still with one driver rim riding on the high side. I think that is the Danny Wells machine. That's indeed who it is. As Balkowitz was able to get around Shelton all by his lonesome. Shelton now moves back to 2nd. 3rd place now Ian Dutta, as the top 3 have kind of broken away from a 3-wide battle for 4th between the BMW of Joshua Michaels, the Chevy Camaro of Kyle Matthews, and the Audi RS4 of Noah Hart. So Shelton has Ian Dutta right behind her. We'll have to see if a Chevy and a Dodge can work together here to get by a Ford. Speaking of Ford, Dylan Young's Ford, the Dr. Pepper Ford, coming up the inside line there. So we're starting to see the Young Duncan Motorsports Ford Fusion coming up here. Shelton seems rather content right now to push rookie Balkowitz at the current moment. Balkowitz been having a really strong rookie season. He actually comes in as the rookie points leader by 4 points over Tanner Sullivan. Still looking for his first win of the season, and right now Jessica Shelton pushing him is keeping him out in front as it's single file now between, I believe that's the top 6. Balkowitz, Shelton, Dutta, Matthews, Michaels, and then Charles Sanford. And now James McLeod and Dylan Young behind them have gotten themselves to single file, and that didn't last long. Matthews to the bottom. Sanford going to offer the drafting help as Matthews goes for 3rd. Sanford going for the 5th position. Balkowitz continues to lead, though, and Jessica Shelton has not made an offer to bypass the Pizza Hut Ford for the last 3 or 4 laps. Those two working very well together. Balkowitz has not had a challenge made on him by Shelton, and likewise, Shelton has been able to use the drafting off the 91 to hold off any moves the drivers might be able to make on her, but look out, Alliance is gone. Shelton to the bottom. Sanford immediately goes with her. It's like they had that planned. Perfect timing for the both of them, and Shelton goes to the lead. Sanford into 2nd, McLeod into 3rd. And now Shelton's going to get caught 3 wide with 2 former Daytona 500 winners, Sanford and James McLeod, going 3 wide as I just got the pace car for some reason. Pace car's not important right now. He may be later on, though. Knock on wood. James McLeod now to the point. Former Daytona 500 winner. Last win for McLeod ended up coming last season at Pocono. Hasn't been to victory lane yet this season, but comes in 3rd in the point standings. So he's had a very consistent season so far. Now here comes Kyle Matthews to the bottom, looking for the lead. Kyle Matthews has already gone to victory lane this season in trucks. He ended up winning the Midsummer Classic at Eldora, but still trying to look for the victory here today. Matthews' last win ended up coming at the Milwaukee Mile last season, which was race 4 of season 7. So it's been a long time since he's been to victory lane at Snickers Cup Series event. As going to the lead is going to be the frozen Mitsubishi of Joshua Collard. First time we've seen his Mitsubishi Lancer up here at the front. And look who pushed him to the front. Sean Henley running the Madden colors on his 57 out of Twin X Racing here at Dega. Right behind him is Michael Norman, which is always a big name that's mentioned when we come to restriction plate tracks, especially Talladega. And Noah Hart there as well, as pit stops are going on. Nathan Hudson, and I believe that was Trent Dunham, are coming to pit road here. Megan Atkins, Tanner Sullivan also coming in. The cycle of green flag pit stops is beginning. That was Jacob Lawler also on the pit lane, and I believe somebody else pitted just behind these guys. No, I guess not. Oh, whoa, they're coming up on the slower car of Harrison Langford, the damaged machine. Henley had no trouble getting around him. Now Norman's trying to get by, so is Jessica Shelton, Noah Hart. Joshua Collard's the one getting held up right now behind the 43. Ironic, that was the car that Collard drove last season, was the 43, although it was a Dodge out of Everham Racing at the time. Let's see if anybody of these leaders is going to come to pit road. Henley stays out. Norman stays out, but here comes McLeod. And it will be quicker getting to him if I just do this, rather than trying to cycle through. Joshua Balkowitz has also hit the pit lane. Pole sitter Ashley LaPlante and Levi McIntyre, our winner from Rockingham, UK. Cody Lamas and Kyle Corbett are also coming to pit road, as there's the drivers that pitted last lap coming back on track. Henley is the current leader, and the reason that he's so far out is due to that Harrison Langford machine. He got around Langford very quickly. Everybody else had a little bit of trouble getting around him. So when is Henley going to have to make his pit stop? So go around Trent Dunham. I think maybe Henley's coming this time. Yes, he is. Noah Hart's coming in. Shelton, Michaels, Shears, Michael Norman, Bob Jones. We'll wait until the other camera switches so we can tell the other drivers that are coming. I see Sanford coming in, Cittadino. Looks like Galligan is also coming in, the 44. Ralph Mason pulls into his pit stall. Dylan Poteet, Dylan Young, Matthews, Langford, William Duncan, McCrory, Makoto Iguchi, Ian Dutta, and Cole Daly, all on pit road. Now look at this. Sean Henley was not fast enough off of pit road. Noah Hart's going to get off pit road ahead of him. And as this cycles around, Noah Hart may end up cycling around as the leader, as he had himself a really good pit stop there apparently in that Kyotech number 81 pit crew. And he comes out ahead of the guy who came in as the leader, Sean Henley, in the 57. Let's see if anybody else stayed out. Oh yeah, looks like Danny Wells stayed out an extra lap. He may be coming in this time. Yep, here he comes, along with Joshua Collard. Chris Washer also, I believe, stayed out, along with Jake Rogers, James Silverfox, Isaac Canepa, and Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater's on pit road. There's Rogers, there's Silverfox, here comes Washer, and here comes Canepa. So yeah, so all these drivers that stayed out an extra lap now on pit road and just completed their service. So we'll watch Danny Wells, who was scored the leader last time around. The drivers he's going to have to watch out for coming off the back straightaway are going to probably be Sean Henley and Jessica Shelton, Noah Hart. Those three were the three that came off pit road and were running up at the front at the time. Michael Norman could also be thrown into that mix as well. So let's see. Oh, here comes some drivers off of turn 2, and it's those leaders. Noah Hart, Sean Henley, James McLeod, and Joshua Balkowitz. I think Danny could get out in front of them. No, he can't merge yet. Oh, he's got to come up some point, and he's going to come up right in front of his teammate, James McLeod. Wow, McLeod able to get around him, but that was close. Danny had to come up off of pit road, off of that apron there, to merge with traffic, and he didn't want to wreck his teammate, so very close call right there between the 4 and the 51, as Noah Hart indeed cycles around as the leader. Second place is going to be Sean Henley. Third place is going to be James McLeod. Balkowitz in 4th. 5th now Jessica Shelton. 6th place Danny Wells, as he'll go underneath Trent Dunham, move Dunham back to 7th. 8th place Michael Norman. 9th is Megan Atkins, and now Jacob Lawler is up to the 10th position. Nathan Hudson's in 11th. 12th is Joshua Michaels. Joshua Collard runs in 13th, and the top 13 have broken away now from this battle for 14th. A big pack of cars here, including Sullivan, Shears, Washer, Citadino, Ashley LaPlante, the Pulsar, also McIntyre, Jackson, Sanford, and Jake Rogers in this group. Rogers, the last of those cars, is running, I believe, in the 23rd position. Then you got Canepa, Mason, Silverfox, and Fitzwater back here. That's back through 26th. 27th, Dylan Young with his teammate William Duncan. So these two hanging back together, these two teammates. You gotta wonder if they're thinking about some strategy here or something. 30th place right now, that is Dylan, or actually 29th I should say, is Dylan Pote. Kyle Matthews now back in 30th with Galligan, the points leader, all the way back in the 31st position. McCrory is in 32nd, 33rd Bob Jones. 34th, Makoto Iguchi. Dutta back in 35th. Lamas 36th. 37th, his teammate Cole Daly. Langford, I believe, is a lap down in 39th position. And there's Kyle Corbett, who I believe is still on the lead lap, but he's 38th. Let's update that. Yeah, Corbett is still on the lead lap, but he's a long ways back right now in the 38th position. And then we have, of course, 3 drivers out of the race. That incident that took place back on lap number 2, taking out the likes of Brandon Gonzalez, Seth Cole, and James Qualls, as McLeod now goes underneath of Noah Hart. He'll go to the point. 13 cars in this lead pack, and then about maybe 8 cars in that second pack trying to catch up, making a 21-car pack at the front of the field. But it may take another cycle of green flag pit stops to bring that about. All these drivers ended up pitting back on lap number 3, and then they came down between laps 16 and 18, which means they are able to make it at the most 15 laps. We are on lap 20. We still have, at the stripe here as we hit lap 21, we still have a total of 18 laps to go. So with that being said, these drivers, more than likely with the fuel window we have established here during this first cycle of green flag pit stops, they are going to have to pit at least one more time. As Nathan Hudson moves to the point here, that pit strategy that he used back on lap 3 during the first pit stops of the day really has worked out in his favor. Has kept him up here in the lead pack ever since then, as Joshua Collard is going to go to the point. Trent Dunham right behind him. An opportunity here for Trent Dunham to be a 3-time winner this season. He's never done that before in his Snickers Cup Series career. And look who else is up here. Maybe a sleeper in this whole thing. Megan Atkins in the 33. Her only win in Snickers Cup Series competition came last season, the next to last race of the season at Talladega Superspeedway. And she's up here in this lead pack with an opportunity to maybe go to victory lane here today. How about the defending champ, Jacob Lawler? He's done a great job of getting himself up here into position after he, I thought, made a little bit of contact with the spinning Seth Cole back under our only caution. But Lawler needs a good run like this. He's 31st in points, and as we said, this season it's all about victories, all about wins to get you into the chase. Lawler's got to get to victory lane if he's going to defend his title from Season 7 here in Season 8. And we have a slower machine again. Again, it's the Harrison Langford machine that these drivers are going to encounter. Trent Dunham and everybody catching right up to the back bumper. That 43 now going to have to utilize the back straightaway to get by, and this is going to bring that second pack right to him. This caught that pack right back up. Now it's a big pack of 21 machines. Oh man, and that just killed the momentum of that second group because they came right up on the back bumper of these guys really quickly. And now they're getting really, really racy back here. Danny Wells, Joshua Michaels, Charles Sanford, they're 4 wide behind the slower machine of Harrison Langford. And this is starting to break them back up again, and now they're going to start their cycle of pit stops again, apparently. Either that or something's up with Nathan Hudson, because Hudson's coming to pit road again. And he was the first of the drivers to hit pit road under our last cycle of pit stops. I don't know, but this does not look like a regularly scheduled stop for Nathan Hudson to me. Well, maybe it is. Maybe a gas and go strategy for the 84. I don't rightly know what to say about that. That seemed a little early to me to be coming to pit road, but then again, remember the pit window is 15 laps. He just pitted with about 15 laps remaining. He may be planning to go the rest of the way now on fuel. Interesting strategy on the part of Nathan Hudson, and now Trent Dunham's going to come to pit road. He was the leader, and now he is coming. So drivers deciding that this thing may go into a green flag run all the way to the end. Getting that pit stop is going to get him just to the finish. Sullivan, Atkins, and Lawler have all hit pit road as well. As we got to move up to the front, it's now Chris Washer leading the way in the 10 machine. Washer 32nd in points. Was a 2-time winner last season. Hasn't been to victory lane yet this season, though. As here comes Danny Wells down on the bottom looking for the lead. Who out of this lead pack is coming to pit road this time? Or are they going to try and stretch it a little bit further? I think we may see Washer come to pit road. No, he's not coming, but Balkowitz is. Joshua Balkowitz now coming to the pit lane in the 91. Is anybody else coming in behind him? We'll find out when they switch the camera angle. Yes, it's going to be the Levi McIntyre machine, the 60. They are coming to pit road. As we move up back to the point. Now Danny Wells is taking the lead. Jessica Shelton offering the drafting help. James McLeod there as well. And now these leaders have to cycle their way around these drivers who had just come to pit road. Nathan Hudson in the way. Megan Atkins now trying to merge back on track. As Jessica Shelton, James McLeod going to get a nice move there to the inside on the now lap down machine of Nathan Hudson. But when things cycle around, Hudson should be back on the lead lap. Here comes Charles Jackson in the 54 up here in this big group now. And now Shelton, McLeod, and Norman, they're coming to pit road. Michaels is in. Dougie Shears is in. LaPlante, Cittadino. And here come those two teammates, Dylan Young and William Duncan. Remember, I thought they were using some kind of strategy working together there. Now they're on pit road, maybe making their final pit stop of the day. Galligan is also in, along with Dylan Poteet, Bob Jones. Makoto Iguchi is in, along with Cole Daly and Ian Dutta. Dylan Young down and away. Let's find out if Danny Wells is coming in this lap. He and Chris Washer have yet to pit, and now they're coming. Danny Wells comes in 9th in the point standings. Chris Washer, as we mentioned, comes in 32nd in points. The thing between the two of them that's similar, though, is the fact they have not gone to victory lane yet this season. It's Noah Hart, Jake Rogers, Sean Henley, and a number of others going to come down the pit lane. I think this could be the rest of everybody that had to pit that has not pit in the last 3 laps. Let's see if Danny Wells is going to go with fuel only. No, they are going to go at least for left sides on the Mountain Dew Chevrolet as Collard pulls into pit stall just behind him. Fitzwater in the pit stall just ahead of him. And oh, almost some contact there, but McCurry tried to get to his pit box. That was a close call there for Danny Wells, but he gets off pit road okay. Chris Washer coming out right behind him, then a ways back there to Sean Henley. As we'll see where Danny Wells comes out in the scheme of all this. Actually, he scored in 3rd place. Did somebody else stay out? Yeah, Charles Jackson and Charles Sanford, the 2 Charles stayed out. And now Sanford is in the 03. And how about Jackson in the 54? He is also on the pit lane. I believe Sanford just pitted the last lap around. Now this lap, Charles Jackson coming to pit road. Either that or he had a pit stall way at the rear of pit road. That apparently must be the case. But Sanford is actually going to beat Charles Jackson off of pit road. So we'll keep an eye on the 2 Charles. Both of them having stellar seasons so far here. Charles Sanford, 7th in points. Charles Jackson in the 19th place in the standings. One a former Daytona 500 winner, one a former Snickers Cup Series champion, but neither one of them is going to be the leader of this race because that pack of cars, led by Chris Washer, is going to go around them, and Washer will cycle around as the leader as we now have ourselves a pack of 6 cars on the lead lap at the front here. Kyle Corbett, the 56, has now been caught a lap down to the leaders. So a tough break here today for Kyle Corbett, that due to the damage he received under our only caution so far today. As now here comes Nathan Hudson, he wants the lead. Let's see who's going to lead this lap between Washer on the high side and Hudson on the inside. It's going to be close, but the high side is going to get it by a splitter. And it will be Chris Washer leading that lap. Now Nathan Hudson will move by for the lead. Let's give you another full field rundown as we have a total of 9 to go here at Dega. Hudson is the leader. 2nd place Chris Washer. 3rd is Jessica Shelton. 4th place Joshua Balkowitz. Trent Dunham runs in 5th and Danny Wells runs in 6th. Then you got a 2nd pack back here with 7th place Sean Henley. James McLeod in 8th. 9th Levi McIntyre. And 10th is Jake Rogers. 11th is John Cittadino. 12th place Charles Sanford. 13th place is Megan Atkins with Michael Norman 14th. 15th Tanner Sullivan. 16th right now is Dylan Young. 17th is Joshua Michaels. 18th place is Jacob Lawler. 19th Charles Jackson. And Noah Hart completes top 20. Then you got Dougie Shears all by his lonesome in 21st. Isaac Canepa 22nd. 23rd is Collard. 24th Fitzwater. Pole sitter Ashley LaPlante back in 25th. 26th Kyle Matthews. William Duncan's 27th. 28th is Ralph Mason. Dylan Poteet all by his lonesome in the 29th position. Sean Galligan back here in 30th. 31st Bob Jones. 32nd Anthony McCurry. His teammate James Silverfox runs 33rd. 34th Ian Dutta. Makoto Iguchi 35th. 36th is Cole Daly. 37th place all by his lonesome is Cody Lamas. And then 38th, 1 lap down is Kyle Corbett. 39th, 1 lap down is Harrison Langford. Actually, I believe he's now 2 or 3 laps down. And then, as we mentioned before, out of the race, 40th, 41st, and 42nd are Seth Cole, Brandon Gonzalez, and James Qualls. Hitting the stripe, a total of 7 to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. And these drivers now, I believe, can make it the rest of the way on fuel. And up here inside this top 6 pack, only one driver has locked themselves up a spot in this season's chase, and that's 3rd place running Trent Dunham with 2 wins this season. Washer, Balkowitz, Shelton, Nathan Hudson, and Danny Wells have yet to go to victory lane. They'd love to do it here today at Dega. You can bet that the odds are not in favor of Trent Dunham. And Nathan Hudson's hitting pit road again. Are they going to have to pit again? Or did they not get Hudson completely full of fuel? Whatever the case, I didn't expect they were going to have to pit again. But it looks like they're going to as they come up here on Harrison Langford once more. And he's going to hold these guys up, and look out for Sean Henley in that second group. This is going to help them catch them quickly. And that second group is single file too, and now here they come. That pack going to catch up to these guys. They're having trouble getting around the Harrison Langford machine. Trent Dunham's the one that's actually having the difficulty. Now he'll get to the inside line as they're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Now, are these drivers going to have to pit again? If that's the case, this is really going to shuffle up this race. Are any of these leaders coming to pit road? No, they are not. The only one that came was Nathan Hudson, and you got to assume that maybe, just maybe, something may have gone wrong on that car. He didn't take any tires on that last round of pit stops. He went with fuel only. That may have cost him. I don't know. He may have a tire down or something. Right now, though, we're looking at the leader, Jessica Shelton. Battle on for second. Danny Wells under Joshua Bolkowitz. Trent Dunham, who was able to get himself clear of the Harrison Langford machine. He's now coming back to the front. And look at Sean Henley. He was the only car that was able to break away from that second pack and move into this first pack. Now he's up here in the hunt. And there's an opportunity now for teammates to work together. The 4 of Danny Wells and the 57 of Sean Henley as they both jump into the middle groove. And Trent Dunham's coming to pit road. So these guys could be able to make it, or are they all going to have to pit again? Only time will tell, as it's right now Shelton with the lead. Washer in second, now looking for the top position. Henley into third. Bolkowitz now trying to take fourth place away from Danny Wells. We're not going to even bother to look back and see who else has hit the pit lane, because this is coming down to crunch time. The final laps of this race, we got to see if these drivers may try and stretch it to the end. Remember when Chris Dollerton tried to stretch it on fuel in the Truck Series race? He ended up running out of fuel right in the front of the field, and it caused a big pileup. Will we see something like that here in the closing stage of this race? As Bolkowitz will give up the fourth position. He's going to come to pit road. But Washer, Shelton, Henley, Danny Wells, they're going to stay out. They're going to try and stretch it at least one more lap. You know, I think back. I can't remember which season it was. It may have very well been season 5. When at Daytona, the second Daytona race, a number of drivers decided to stretch it on the final restart, and they all dropped like flies with 2 to go and on the white flag lap, and it was Anthony McCurry who was able to come up through the field and win the race. Will we see something like this if these drivers are not able to make it the rest of the way on fuel, or will they come to pit road? They're not coming yet. Top 7 stay out. Washer, Shelton, Henley. Behind them you got Danny Wells. You've got the form of Dylan Young. I also saw Charles Sanford back there, and who was that other driver I saw? I believe that was John Cittadino in the 72. It is. As now they're coming up here on the machines that have come to pit road. Tanner Sullivan, Megan Atkins, Jacob Lawler. This will help them have someone to draft with at least, which could help with their fuel mileage, but then again it could hinder them too. Right now the 10, 94, 257, 72, 4, and 03. Those are the drivers on the lead lap. Everybody else is either a lap down or on the tail end of the lead lap. As now it's going to be Jessica Shelton. She has moved into the lead. But here comes Dylan Young. Here comes John Cittadino way down to the bottom, 3 wide. And now it's going to be Levi McIntyre holding these guys up. Shelton's gotten around via the high side. And the white flag was displayed too, folks. Keep that in mind. 1 more lap to go. Shelton leads the way, trying to get the drafting off of her teammate Megan Atkins, who was on the tail end of the lead lap. Now Shelton moves to the bottom. Will Megan Atkins give her the position? Here's Cittadino. He's now gotten free of the lap machines. He's trying to run down the 94. Will Megan Atkins try and block Cittadino and help her teammate Jessica Shelton win? Cittadino forces a hold of the inside. Coming out of turn 4 for the final time. Cittadino now caught 3 wide. Atkins throws the block and will help her teammate. Jessica Shelton is going to come to the stripe, and Jessica Shelton makes it on fuel and wins the Aaron's 499 at Talladega Superspeedway, her second win of her Snickers Cup Series career. And Jessica Shelton, it was season 6, Chicagoland. when Jessica Shelton picked up her very first victory, driving the number 13 for Germain Racing. And now, 2 seasons later, Jessica Shelton will finally get back to Snickers Cup Series victory lane. Shelton wins here today at Dega and may have clinched herself a spot in this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. Becomes the second driver out of Michael Norman Motorsports this season to go to victory lane. Of course, Michael Norman doing it earlier on this season at Auto Club. And Jessica Shelton finally, in a Michael Norman Motorsports ride, will get to victory lane, and tremendous assist to her teammate Megan Atkins, who ended up winning here the last time we were at Talladega Superspeedway, to hold off the rest of the field, even though she finished a lap down. Atkins with the assist to help Shelton pick up the win here today. First win of the season for the 94 team. What a finish, and a lot of drivers went with the safety strategy of coming to pit road one more time, but Shelton and a number of others decided not to, and they're going to reap the rewards of good finishes here today at Talladega Superspeedway. Shelton came into this race 27th in points. It'll be interesting to see where this win situates her in the point stands heading into next week's event. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finish results, overall point stands and rookie points heading into next week. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we do have Last of Us Light Series race coming. If we don't, it's the following week, but I may be incorrect. I do know that our next stop for them, at least, is going to be Richmond. That will either be next week or the week after. And then we also have Truck Series, Mobile Cup Series, and Snickers Cup Series action coming your way. We have, I know our next Snickers Cup Series venue will be coming from the Charlotte Speedway, our longest race of the season in the Coke 600. And then after that, we'll be heading to Dover before All-Star Race Weekend at FGF Superspeedway. So I hope you'll tune in for all that coming up in the future here. And you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Sean Henley got turned by Dunham, and he saved it! What are these guys doing? Oh, and Henley just got turned now. That time he got turned. Logan Wilson is flipping on his roof. Dylan Young is collected. Sosnowski collected. Dylan Young is now flipping. Citadino's involved. Mary Cole is in it. Drew Lawson has been collected, and Dylan Young continues to flip. Now comes the rest. There is our caution.